was a bit all over the place this week in terms of lack of direction and planning and just knowing what to do. I was just doing calls, I was doing emails, whatever. I realized if I go down this route, then every week will just become a bit more unclear. So I'm literally driving a car in fog right now, and my aim isn't to clear the fog in the sense I can't go outside and clear the fog because it's out of my control. But what I can do is start making changes, preparing myself, turning on the headlights, making sure my mirrors are clean and everything like that, and then I can navigate easily through the fog. So what does that look like in day to day? It will mean getting the right systems and frameworks in place, aka making sure I have a clear plan of attack. And you know what, actually, even in my past company, I was never the first person to start with a strong foot. No, that wasn't the thing. From my class, people that started off really well, I was never that person. But the thing is, I don't need to start off with a strong foot, because ending on the high note, I think, is the most powerful thing. I just need to make sure that I just keep focused and find the right framework, speak to the right people. I'm doing all the right things. I just need to make sure I have the system, keep that competitive mindset, and I'm out for blood. Quick recap. So obviously today there's been a fluctuation of different types of, I wouldn't say emotions, but I'd say more so thinking or thought patterns for me. I realized that taking a week off for holidays, which I do not regret, by the way, because I'd already planned it before I even joined this company. If anything, I'm grateful that it happened before I actually started my role, just after my training, rather than happening during my actual role, because that would have disrupted a lot of things. But anyway, what I realized is taking a week off, everyone around me has a slightly better understanding of the system that we're using, a week ahead of me in that sense. And that's completely fine, because I'm willing to put in some additional hours after work and I can catch up. That's no problem. But I have noticed the weak areas I've identified, that it's just my understanding could be a lot better of who I'm trying to target and everything. And actually, the one thing I'd say is I spoke about this in an earlier episode where I document my end of days on a little notebook, and I document each day and write down some of the key points that I could improve on, or just something I need more clarification and understanding on. And then this allows me to formulate questions. So when I have one-to-one meetings with my managers, but also with peers, even during conversation, I can just slip these questions and see if I can get some sort of response or some answer to it. And then I think that's been very helpful. It also makes every kind of meeting or one-to-one worth it. I feel a little bit left behind just because of that 1 week, but that's no problem at all, because I do have confidence and I do believe in myself. This week itself was a kind of a write-off, in the sense it was more of an education week, just for me to catch up and just trying to learn the craft. I literally had no routine. Really, there was no structure to it. It was just doing random stuff like cold calling or emailing or just meetings with other people. One of the things I want to say is actually I had a nice conversation with one of my colleagues today, she seems very driven as well, and we were talking about success and successful people. And when you get to certain levels of success, I mean very high level success, right? I'm talking about founders of 100 mil in revenue or something way above that even. So big companies, founders, CEOs of those companies, even just self-made millionaires, they all have one thing in common, which I was saying is obsession. And my colleague, she was saying that actually there are one or two things that they have to sacrifice, unfortunately, and that's whether it be relationships or family or hobbies or interests. There are certain things that you might have to sacrifice, and you just have to make sure you know which ones you want to keep. For me, it's always going to be family relationships of my close friends. As I've grown older, I realized that actually having a very tight group is the way. Even if I have one friend, honestly, even if I have one friend I know I can just call up, and that they know that if they want to call me up, I'll be there, that's more than enough for me. I've just realized that, because for me, it's all about quality. It's all about quality, because as you want to pursue things, your dreams, aspirations, it comes to a point where you can't see everyone. You just can't, because your time just becomes, you can't always give away your time. Keeping those important people in your life, that's a good way, rather than, just having a lot of friends just because you're scared to be lonely, because that certainly was a thing, especially growing up, especially in university and stuff like that. But it's not about that. It's the pursuit now. So having a tight group of friends, having obviously family, having my dreams and goals, ambitions, whatever at the top, with YouTube, making content, interacting with you, that is one of the biggest things for me as well. My day just goes like this. It's already now 9 p.m. I'd say 80% of my day is just work. At least 18% of the remaining day is gym. and then like that 2%, I don't know, I've just got free time, so I just invest it in YouTube or do some additional work or something like that. So time is valuable. I spoke to my friend today and we kind of identified that actually, like, to be good at something, you can have a balanced lifestyle. But I really think to be great at something, it's all about obsession and sacrifices. Good luck.
Couple keys in my pocket, another stream on my conscience. Catch me before I fall too hard.